The Canaday Group presents RE/MAX Fine Homes, Luxury Living in Orange County, with your host, Lee Ann Canaday.
Good morning, Southern California, and welcome to the Canaday Group and RE/MAX Fine Homes, coming to you from beautiful, sunny Corona del Mar in Newport Beach, California. And it's a fabulous day, and come and visit us here in Corona del Mar. We're right next door to the Starbucks, but we actually have better coffee here. Don't tell Starbucks. Okay. So now let's do what we always do and start with our three-dimensional Matterport tours and our open houses. Take a look. How about putting the sign right over there, Crystal?
Hi, I'm Crystal Lee Canaday with the Canaday Group RE/MAX Fine Homes. Welcome to our open house.
Did you see anything you want to come visit? If you did and you can't make it to the open house, give us a call. We will make a private showing just for you. And we love to do private showings. So now let's move on to our coming soons, our brand new listings, and just some incredible estate properties. Welcome to Villa Pepper Tree, and this is the most amazing estate home. As you can see behind me, the ceilings are really, really high. You could have put another whole level of home on this home just with the ceiling height alone. They've got to be in certain rooms like 35 feet tall. It's incredible volume, something that really makes every room feel spacious. This almost 9,500 square foot estate home that's fully gated on 1 acre of land with spectacular views from almost every room actually has 7 bedrooms. The family living upstairs has 4 bedrooms, the master and 3 others, and the lowest level is for guests. If you're someone who has a lot of guests come and stay, people come from another part of the country or part of the world, then the downstairs they would have their own area. There are 3 bedrooms down there, 4 baths, a big bonus room, and a little kitchenette, plus a sauna and a swimming pool. So the game room down there would act as a living room for your guests and a game room for your pool parties. The home is on the main living area is very user-friendly. It has a big, giant, formal living room in which I am standing, a fabulous, giant library, enough for 2 people to work as their library or office. It has a double family room with the kitchen attached, and the kitchen comes equipped with 2 dishwashers, 4 ovens of one sort or another, and it's got a beautiful breakfast room adjacent, and all of those rooms have incredible views. Off of the kitchen and with a butler's pantry and walk-in pantry adjacent is a wonderful formal dining room with really high ceilings and spectacular views. So this home is a must-see, and it's more than a home. It's truly an estate. Well, it's time for another latte with Lee Ann. Cheers. So today I have Erin Baranek with the Morgan Law Group, and we're going to talk about a combination of probate and trusts. And I think that we'll start with the probate issues. That way we can hit home on the value of a trust.
Absolutely. So maybe you've experienced a death in the family, or you know somebody that has, and somebody passed away and they do not have a trust in place. And you're wondering, how am I supposed to get this piece of property now transferred into my name? And unfortunately, if you are finding yourself in that situation, the only way to get that property transferred into your name is to go through the probate court. Now, the probate court, in order to initiate the proceeding, you do have to file a probate petition, and that gets the process started. Once the process is started, the court will appoint an executor, and that executor will be the person that will handle the estate from the start to the finish.
Now, sometimes the executor is actually in the will, right?
Yes.
Because just because you have a will doesn't mean you're protected. You have to have the trust, but we'll get into that, to be protected.
Yes, and that's a very excellent point, because you are correct. A will does not protect against probate. So the house would still have to go through probate even if your loved one had a will. And if the executor is appointed in the will, then that person would take over and act as executor. If there is no will, then the court will appoint the executor. Now, once you begin the probate process, it is tedious. We say on average the probates take between 12 to 18 months. And I will say that's sometimes generous. Oftentimes our office even has probates that are in probate for 3 years or plus, depending on so many different circumstances. The main part about probate is figuring out who the rightful beneficiaries are and what their share of the estate will be. The other part is paying off any debts of the estate. So you may think that you are going to inherit a property, but the estate may have so much debt that you're actually not going to inherit it at all.
Right.
Yes.
I've seen that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that goes into a probate procedure, and it's not always smooth. One way, if you are looking to not have that happen to your family, exactly, is to set up a trust. And this is especially important when you're dealing with real estate. Other accounts may have other options in order to pass those accounts along when you pass away so that they can avoid probate. But real estate, it's a stickler. You pretty much need to put that property into a trust so that you can pass it on to your heirs, to your beneficiaries, and avoid the probate process.
And that's what you really want to do. It costs the estate a lot more money to go through probate.
Absolutely. Probate fees are going to be set by California law. And that California law is statutory, meaning pretty much every attorney's office will charge the statutory rate, and it's a percentage of the fair market value of the estate. So when you're dealing with a property in California, the probate fees are just going to be set by whatever that fair market value is. They actually do not take into consideration mortgages or anything like that. On average, it's about 5% of the fair market value. So if you're looking at $1 million property, you have about $50,000 worth of probate fees to get that property through probate.
And you could owe $950,000 on it, so
Yep.
the $50,000, I mean, it's a wash, right?
Absolutely.
There's no money for the heirs if you don't put it in a
trust. Yes. So putting it into a trust is key. Our office is always able to help anybody that purchases a new property make sure that it's titled correctly into the name of the trust. And it's actually a fairly simple process if you already have a trust in place to title it correctly, and we're happy to do that. And
yes, the other thing is, if you refinance, you always have to take your property out of the trust in order to get a new loan. However, a lot of people forget to put it back in the trust. I think that's what happened with Prince, right? He had all those multi-million-dollar homes, and he refinanced and took everything out of the trust and but I think they got around it. If you have good title companies, we do, you can, the intent was to keep it in the trust. They only took it out of the trust in order to refi it. But it's better just to put it back in the trust.
Absolutely. And depending on how your trust is drafted, which just like you said, you have good titling companies, good drafting is really key when it comes to properties that might be accidentally taken out of a trust. And the reason for that is because if you can prove that it was the intent for those properties to be in the trust, then you do not have to go for a full probate of those properties. We can do something else that's much cheaper and much quicker. But that does depend on the drafting of the trust and whether or not it can prove that intent.
Yes.
So, yes.
Really good.
Yes.
So that's the reason I wanted to talk about probate first, so you could see all the intricacies and the costs and everything involved in a probate, and where that would probably entice somebody into actually just putting their properties all in trust. And
absolutely. And if anyone is interested in having more information about trusts and the pros and cons and everything of that nature, we do offer wine and wills, and any of your viewers are welcome to join. It's a relaxed setting. Our next one's coming up on January 19th. But then we also have them February 23rd, and we usually do these on a monthly basis.
fabulous. Fabulous. Well, I'll come.
Okay.
Yeah. As long as you have red wine.
We do have red wine. We have red and white.
Oh, perfect. So do you trust wine?
Yeah.
Okay, just kidding. Yeah, that's great. I'm so glad you came on. I think that this is really valuable information. A lot of people know it, but they forget it.
Yeah.
And it's really very, very important for estates. So thank you, Ann.
Yes,
thank you so much for
absolutely.
coming on board.
Thank you, Lee Ann.
And cheers.
Cheers.
Clink. Well, I've got a treat for you today. I'm sure you all remember Kim Wood. Well, today she has a surprise for you in that she has a pocket listing she's going to share with you and only you.
Hi, I have a 4-bedroom, 3-bath in Newport Coast, California, and it has ocean view on the bottom, from the backyard, and from the balcony. It's walking distance to kids' school, walking distance to shopping center, and it's a great community with 2 pools.
And a gate.
Yes.
So give us a call and Kim will show you this wonderful lease in Newport Coast. Great address.
Yes, it is. It's great, and it's a great neighborhood too.
Well, thank you for coming on and sharing your pocket listing. And I understand you have a couple others you're working on, right?
Yes, and a couple more are coming up.
So give us a call. Well, it's time for your market update. And today we have AJ. I know you all remember AJ from before. And what are you going to talk about today?
I'm going to talk about the market update again, tell you what the median price is in Nellygale, what price per foot is, and as you know, homes are staying on the market a little bit longer. But the great thing is, in Nellygale, they're staying on the market average of 72 days, which is lower than the national average. Also, the median list price, it's a little bit over $2.5 million. In fact, to be exact, I did the calculation, and it's $2,513,000, which brings the price per square foot $702 per square foot.
That's a good price per foot.
Yes. Now, what I am going to do, I'm going to talk to people, see if they want to sell. This is a perfect time right now because there's only 6 homes on the market and only 2 has sold this last month. So just call Canaday Group, ask for AJ the Realtor.
And if you don't want to say his last name because it's very long, but Siri knows it perfectly. Joe Harzada.
That's very good.
Thank you.
But just call me AJ the Realtor.
Everybody knows AJ.
Thank you.
thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
And thanks for the great marketing report.
Well, thank you. And as everybody knows, Miss Lee Ann Canaday, you have been in the business for a long time, giving great service to luxury market. And also what I want to tell you, we lived in Nellie Gale, raised our kids there. Thank God, great community. And I want to be of service to you.
Well, thank you so much, AJ. Good job. Bye.
Bye.
So we have the best panel coming up for your viewing interest, and it will absolutely not only be in person, but it will also be on Zoom. It's on DSTs and it's on 1031 exchanges, and I've got a very educated, well-informed panel of 3 people that not only know the 1031s upside down and inside out, but also the DSTs and the securities rules. So you can definitely come, ask all your questions in person, or watch it on Zoom and query the person who's monitoring the Zoom and ask all your questions in that manner as well. It will be February 2nd at the Newport Coast Community Center, where we have most all of our events for learning, all of our seminars at least. This is a great tool for those of you who have income-producing property or investment property, but are over all the management, but you love the write-offs, you love the depreciation, you love the appreciation. You love all the things with the ownership except for the maintenance and except for signing on the loan, because with a DST, you do not have to sign on a loan, and the sponsors do that for you. And they also do all of the maintenance and upkeep on the property. So all you do is collect your money, collect your write-offs, collect your appreciation, and wait for the checks to come in. So this is a must-see seminar. Well, it's your favorite time of the show, Celebrity Mansion Gossip, and we've got a really good one for you today, but we're reaching back in the annals of celebrity history to Steve McQueen. And as you probably know him as kind of a race car driver and a motorcycle racer and an all-around handsome guy, right? Anyway, he owned this fabulous house in Victoria Point in Malibu. And it's a 3-level home. It's about 4,500 square feet. And it's on the market now for just under $17 million. So take a look at these fabulous pictures of Steve McQueen's old Malibu getaway home. So Victoria Point is known for its outcropping of rocks. And Steve McQueen's old home actually sits on this outcropping. It's actually 3 levels high and clearly a really nice modern look. Plus, you can't beat an oceanfront view. And the floor plan of the home is oriented towards that view. Yet it's very, very modern inside. And something about that modern look, it just doesn't get out of date. You just need to sometimes change some of the surfaces. But this home is gorgeous. Very clean lines, very warm, contemporary. And again, incredible views. The walls open up to the Pacific Ocean, and not a bad place to open your walls to. Great closets, by the way. That's always a good thing. And again, just view after view. Even the master bath has a great view. So take a stroll along this sandy beach at Victoria Point and look back at Steve McQueen's old home. And if you want to see it, we'd love to show it to you.
The Canaday Group is a dedicated team of agents and assistants. Under Lee Ann's leadership, this group has provided knowledgeable, professional service for decades. Let's take a look at a few recent successes for the Canaday Group and their clients. You can keep up with Lee Ann, RE/MAX Fine Homes, and the Canaday Group 24 hours a day for real estate and community news, tips for home buyers and sellers, and of course, the latest listings from Lee Ann and her team. Go to our website at CanadayGroup.com or follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And remember, Lee Ann's friendly, professional team is always available to answer your questions. Call anytime at 949-249-2424.
Hope you enjoyed the show today. As you know, we love bringing it to you. And if you want to comment on the show, email us. And I'd love to have your input. What would you like to see more of? What would you like to see less of? What would you like to add to the show? Any ideas are welcome. And we will see you again next Saturday morning for more Canaday Group and RE/MAX Fine Homes. And don't forget to follow us on all of our social media and subscribe to our YouTube station so you never miss a TV show again. See you next week. Bye.
Walked in darkness, my home was a night. They came into my life, showed me brilliant light.